Page 21, Sing Bird Sing. They ask at the top of the page which lines are same or similar. Well, depending on your ability, different people are different. Some people can look at the music and they can hear it in their head. Blah, 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 blah. Other people can't. You got to wait till learn the piece and listen to it, and then you can go figure out which lines are same or similar. This ability to hear it in your head, you develop that over time. Everybody can develop that ability. It just takes some time. Some people have it naturally. It's disgusting, but they do. The rest of us learn it over time. But then you'll figure out which lines are the same or similar and which lines are different. We do that when we look at a piece of music because it gives us an idea of how much there is to learn. Because when lines are same or similar, you really only have to learn it once, and then each time it happens, you already know it. So that actually makes it a little shorter and easier to learn when they do that. Most all music has some line or lines in it that is the same as what it had before. Yeah. I'll come back to this after we cover the piece. Let's learn the piece first, and then we can talk about the same or similar lines. So look it over. Treble and bass clef. We got one flat in the key signature. So we're still in F. All the B's are flatted. We're in F position. Now don't get too confused here. Just because it has one flat in the key signature does not mean we're in F position. It's just the way this book is presenting it. They go together. But in reality, they don't really go together. But right now we're in F position. And all the B's are flat. 3/4 times, so we're only counting to 3, but we're still counting quarter notes. Now we got quarter notes and half notes and dotted half notes and a bunch of rests all over. I think we can handle that. The hands are playing at the same time. So let's take it one hand at a time. Make sure we got the notes and all that worked out. Now, as you do this, they tell you the finger number of the first note. Well, you're in F position. So yeah, you're here. What I need you to think about is the note you're playing and just use whichever finger happens to be on that key. Because we're going to be moving around here someday and it's not always going to be the same finger on that key. So don't be thinking finger numbers as you play. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Don't forget the B flat. 2, 3. For the most part, that's the right hand. It's rather, yeah. Left hand, we have an F, an A, and a C. We're in this position. 1, 2, 3. Remember, dotted half notes the same as 3 quarter notes. So it gets 3 counts here. Second line. That last measure in the second line, it says an F and an A, and they're stacked on each other. They're joined by a flag, or a stem, excuse me. You play them at the same time. Just drop the hand down. So you're going from here, here. Try to get them down at the same time. I don't do that very well, but you tried. It takes practice to do that. It really does. I'm using weight to push it down. I just drop the weight into it, and these fingers, the little finger and the middle finger, are down, and that's what happens. Here. Don't hold the hand still and try and do it all with the fingers. Please don't. It's not kind of fun to try, but it's not exactly a good piano technique, in my opinion, for today's instruments. 200 years ago or before, that would have been fine. They were different instruments. They had a very light touch, very light touch. Today's instruments, no. You'll have some physical problems if you try and do that on today's pianos for very long. So once you have both hands going, try them together. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Third line is the left hand alone. Hopefully you can do that, I would hope. So work it out and then get rid of any hesitations you have. The beat needs to be a steady beat. It can be slow, doesn't matter, but it's got to be a steady beat. No hesitations. You also ought to be able to play this and pretty much everything in this book so far without looking at the keyboard. It's important you develop a feel for the keyboard. So try and keep your eyes on the music if you can, or if you know it by heart, it's memorized, then look at the wall or look at something besides the keyboard. Just another thing to make it a little more challenging. Once you have that, they'll add in the slurs. There's no staccatos. You're going to lift up between the slurs. It's like taking a breath. So the last measure, the first line of your here, you're going to lift up in the right hand. There's nothing marked in the left hand. I suggest you connect it if you can. So here, to connect the first note in the next line in the left, connect that. But the right hand you're going to lift up. So can you connect one hand and lift up in the other? Good luck. It's here. Lift up in the right hand, connect the left. So the last two measures of the first line going on, it would that way. 1, 2, 3. And at the end of the second line, both hands come up. The right hand is done for a while, and the left hand, you want to lift up before you start. And at the end of the third line, you get a rest. You have to lift up. Oh, okay. So put in the slurs. They're really phrases because it's the musical sentences. If you look at the words, they're phrasing it according to the sentences, the curved line. They're phrases. They're also slurs in this case too. I know that's confusing, but I'll keep talking about it more as we go through it. Hopefully you'll get it figured out before too many more books we go through. You'll start to understand a slur and a phrase and what they're about. Now add the dynamics. The dynamics apply to the melody. Well, in the first two lines it's the right hand. That's soft. What do you think soft is? Whatever it is. And then in the third line it's loud. Well, the left hand's the only thing playing. And then the last line is soft again, but that's the right hand. So when the right hand is playing softly, the left hand has to be very soft. It's got to be in the background. We want to hear the melody. But then when I get to the third line, it's loud. Soft. So forth. Practice playing really super soft. And you should do that in both hands. Really, both hands should be able to play just as soft as you can play it. Don't use the soft pedal. That's cheating. You got to do it with the hands and the fingers. How soft can you play both hands? Just forget bringing out the melody. Just play both hands really super soft. How soft can you get? It's good practice. It takes control. It takes time. You're playing very lightly. I'm still using weight to push them down, but it's a very little weight is all. Because once you can do that, you know how soft you can really play. So then you can play the melody soft. And you know you can play the rest of it softer than that because you've been practicing it softer than that. Real soft. Moderato, the speed, the tempo, moderato means moderate in the middle. It's not fast or slow. It's about where I think I played it there. Now once you have the piece learned and you kind of know what it sounds like, then you can go back and figure out which lines are similar. Well, let's do the melody. And the second line, that's similar. I mean, the first couple measures are the same, but the second other measures are not. So it's similar. Look at the last line. If you compare it, that's the same as the second line. The third line's all different. That's dumb. So really, you got the first, second, and fourth lines are similar. The second and fourth lines are the same, and the third line is different. You kind of figure it out. But again, it helps when you go to learn the piece, because now we know the second and fourth lines are the same, so we really only got 3 lines to learn. So, okay. I'd like to play this with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. Not going to do any of the louds and softs, just notes and rhythms. So I'll give us 3 counts. Now let's play it together to make sure you're playing the correct notes at the right time. Now you have to learn it first before you do this part of it. So go learn it and then come back. Really, you should come back, listen to the lesson again, make sure you haven't missed anything, and then play it with me there too. 1, ready, go. 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, rest. 1, 2, 3.